Hi, and welcome to today's Story Crafter. Today, after a long time, I am finally able to tell you another story. Are you ready for it? Because this story goes Dory, Nori, Ori, Glory. It's time to tell a story. Sarah was like any other 7-year-old little girl, except for one thing. Instead of having a cat or a dog as a pet, Sarah had a Yeti. Yes, a Yeti. Do you know what a Yeti is? Well, a Yeti is a big, hairy creature, sometimes called the abominable snowman, that it's supposed to live in the Himalayas. Well, this particular Yeti did not live in the Himalayas. He lived in Sarah's house. And they were great friends. In fact, they were such close friends that the Yeti allowed Sarah to climb on his head and ride on him everywhere. There was just one problem. Just like any other hairy creature, after a while without a bath, the Yeti began to stink. The stench was so bad that if you got close to it, you would either faint or run away screaming. Things got to a point in which Sarah's mom went into her bedroom and said, "Sarah, dear, I know you love that Yeti, but if you don't give him a bath, you won't be able to sleep with him in your room anymore. He either gets a bath or he is out to the garden." Said Sarah, Oh, Yeti, I think that's a great idea. Do you think you want to take a bath? And the Yeti said, which in Yeti language means okay. So Sarah ran into her bathroom and got the bath tube filled with warm water and a lot of soap and said, "Okay, Yeti, come in." And the Yeti did try. He went, "Whoa!" But that was all he could do. His foot was so big that just his foot filled the whole bathtub. That's why sometimes Yetis are called Bigfoot. So Sarah said, I think we'll have to think about this. I know, let's use my swimming pool. Oh no, Sarah had one of those big blue plastic rounded swimming pools. So they went outside and it was a warm afternoon. And Sarah said to the Yeti, "Okay, you jump in." And the Yeti went, and he fitted right in. Granted, he didn't have much space to move around, but he fitted in. "Yay!" Sarah said. She got the garden hose and a tiny bottle of dog shampoo, climbed up the stairs and started washing the Yeti. But she soon realized that one little bottle of dog's shampoo was not going to be enough. So she climbed down the stairs, went into the house, and got her mom's shampoo, her dad's shampoo, her sister's shampoo, and her own shampoo. Got up to the stairs and went, and yes, now she was able to start washing the Yeti's fur. There was one thing that she didn't know though. Yeti's fur, it's allergic to human shampoo. And not allergic in the sense that the Yeti would start feeling itchy and need scratching. No. This was chemical reaction allergies. And that meant that the Yeti's fur, in touch with the human shampoo, started producing bubbles. But not just one bubble. Tons and tons and tons of bubbles. The bubbles covered the whole Yeti, and then they filled the swimming pool, and then they went over the swimming pool and started filling the garden. At some point, Sarah's mom went and looked through the window to see how she was doing. And all she could see was a mountain of bubbles, and no Sarah and no Yeti. "Sarah, dear, where are you, love?" she screamed. And Sarah said, "I'm here, underneath the bubbles. Help!" So Sarah's mom jumped into action. She grabbed the garden hose and went until the bubbles were cleared. Okay, now the Yeti was sort of clean, but it was also shivering and truly wet, soaked. Sarah ran into her house and got an extension and her mom's hairdryer, and she started. But she soon realized that with one small hairdryer, she was not going to finish very soon. It was getting dark, and the Yeti was going, which means, "I am cold." Sarah said, "Okay, we need to think again. I know. Let's go to the dog's cookies factory." You see, right next to Sarah's house, there was a dog's cookies factory. And they had big fans that were used to take the warm air from the factory outside. Sarah figured that if the Yeti would stand in front of one of those fans and receive all that warm air, he would be dry in no time. So off they went. And just as Sarah had said, the Yeti was dry and all puffy and fluffy and clean in no time. But he was clean and smelling of dog cookies because the warm air was coming from the cookie factory, right? And it just so happened that a small little dog came by, wagging his tail, and went and followed the scent up to the Yeti's paw. He looked up and went, "It's a giant dog cookie!" And because he was a really generous little dog, he immediately shared the news with all the dogs in the neighborhood. Soon, the Yeti was surrounded by tons of street dogs. And the Yeti started getting a bit nervous, so he started trying to move towards his house. And the dogs started following him. So the Yeti moved faster. And the dogs kept following him. And finally, the poor Yeti got really freaked out. And when the Yeti got scared, he could think in only one thing: jumping under Sarah's bed. So the Yeti started running through the garden, went into the kitchen, and across the living room, into the hallway, and took a leap under Sarah's bed. The dogs followed suit. They went through the garden, into the kitchen, across the living room, into the hallway, and into Sarah's bedroom. By the time Sarah and her mom were able to take all the dogs outside, the whole house was covered in doggy footprints. As Sarah was trying to calm the Yeti down and make him feel comfortable again, Sarah's mom looked at her house. She looked at the hallway, covered in muddy footprints. She looked at her once, not so long ago, white sofas that were now sort of brownish, with so many dogs running out of it, over them, and into the kitchen that it was not only covered in muddy doggy footprints, it was also left without food, because since the dogs had come for a dog cookie, when they left, they took everything they could find in the kitchen. So Sarah's mom went, Sarah, my love, I don't want you to wash that Yeti ever again. Oh, wasn't that story splendid? I hope you liked it because it has now ended. I want to thank you for listening to this story. The written versions are all available in the Patreon site, and they also have really beautiful illustrations. And there is an educational pack with activity packs to paint and to have fun with this story. This story is brought to you by generous patrons that contribute in only $1 a month, make my work possible, more rewarding, and make it possible that I go to tell these stories that are all original to sick children at hospitals. So if you liked the story, please think about contributing. Thank you very much.